Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Ladies of Sosa podcast. My name is Sahra.
And my name is Christine.
Today, we are discussing Fat Joe's controversial comments, I guess, about hip hop and the contribution of different cultures to hip hop. Did I round that out right?
I think today is all things hip hop.
All things hip hop today. And go ahead, Christine.
And we have Bunduke, who was recently featured on a Netflix show called Rhythm and Flow. So we're so honored to have him. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Let's give the panel introduction real quick. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with Tyrick.
Sorry.
Okay.
Wait, aren't y'all related? That's my brother. That's my cousin.
Okay, brother.
That's brother. Yeah.
All right,
Family.
Brother.
Y'all know Tyrick from the podcast. And then Amanual.
How you doing, brother?
Good work. That's my brother too.
Good work.
Love it. And then we have KK.
It's a fat ass brother.
Let's continue on. Nice to meet you, everybody. KK.
We have Jasmine.
Hi.
She's new on the podcast. Just
Yeah.
introduce yourself briefly since you're new.
Oh, just Jasmine. That's it.
Jasmine. All right. Love
Yeah.
it. And then we have Calvin. You guys know Calvin from a few of our episodes.
How y'all doing?
And then we have Vaida.
Hey everyone, it's Vaida. Good to be back.
And then we have Felicia, my friend. It's your first time on the podcast. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes. Actually, you guys call me Fee. That's way easier to remember.
Yes.
So yeah, glad to be
Hey,
here.
Felicia.
Hey, Felicia. And you're from New York.
Yes,
Okay. So yeah.
Wait, what part of New York from?
Buffalo.
Buffalo. Oh, you from Griselda, New York.
I am.
Yeah, so we can kind of have like a background on our panel and like their contribution, the context of everything. But yes, okay, we'll go back to you, Bunduke, and then go ahead with your inspiration for hip hop.
What's going on? My name is Bunduke, hip hop artist, South Sudan, representing Jacksonville, Florida. We out here. What's up?
We love it.
Awesome. Well, I guess first we just want to kind of get to know you a little bit. How did you get started in music?
I got started in music really in like elementary school. That's when I started writing my poems. That's what gave me my first start. And so through writing that poetry and then seeing my older siblings like Tadic, you know what I'm saying? You see them like people, remember when y'all used to print out lyrics back in the day?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then when I used to see, I was like, my poems look just like those lyrics. And so that's what kind of got me into realizing hey, what I'm writing is actually rap, you know what I'm saying? And rap is literally rhythm and poetry. So when you think about that and then listening to other rappers, I always tell people this story. It's Toddy used to listen to Ludacris a lot. So I remember stealing his Ludacris CD, Red Light District, and just listening to it and memorizing all the lyrics. And when I first started rapping, I just sounded just like Luda, and then I started branching out and developing my own flows, performing and just doing talent shows throughout school, all the way through college, opening up for different artists, and then, moved to Atlanta. And, now it leads us to this pod.
Also, we want to get into your time at Rhythm and Flow as well.
Yeah, how did you
sure,
even
of
get that
course.
opportunity to put South Sudan on the map? That's amazing. Please tell us how that came about.
So, honestly, it just came from me doing what I was already doing, just rapping consistently, putting out music and dropping freestyles online back to back. And they found me online and they were like, oh, we like your flow. We like your style. Here, click on this link. It kind of felt like a scam at
Right.
first, It's like, oh, click this link and
Nothing on
fill
this
out
link.
this application for untitled hip hop competition. And I was like, what is this? But then once I clicked the link, I knew exactly what it was because when the first season of Rhythm and Flow dropped, I filled out the application and started that process. But then the pandemic hit, so they didn't have it until 2024. But yeah, so once I seen some of the questions, I was like, I think I know what this might be. So I filled out the application, then we did the audition, and then they were like, all right, dope, we like you, we want to put you on the show so you can audition in front of the judges and all that. And it really just came from me being consistent, with my online presence and just having hard bars, really.
The show was shot in Atlanta.
Yeah, the majority of it was shot in Atlanta.
Do you ever feel because genuinely, I saw earlier that you said it was before the pandemic and then after the pandemic. Do you feel like they were already looking at you before the pandemic started?
Possibly, you know what I'm saying? You never know because I feel like before the pandemic hit, like they might already had a database. You know, it was the
Mhm.
same casting company, so they might already had that same database. And it's like, okay, these are the people to go check out. Let's see what they up to. I'm just assuming, you know, but yeah, that's. I definitely think that the key is like it don't matter. Like when I was posting, sometimes I was just getting 200 views, you know, but it don't matter who's watching. But sometimes it's like the right people might be watching, and for me,
Right.
the right people were watching.
How was it meeting Eminem and Lotto, and I think Ludacris was one of the judges? How was it meeting like these big hip hop influences?
Yeah, it was cool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, at the end of the day, they all humans, so it's just like it's kind of normal. You know, we all eat, we all breathe air. So, but what's dope is just being in front of people that been so consistent in the game for so long, and to be around that energy was definitely dope. You know, I think it was really cool, especially as much as I listened to Ludacris growing up, and then you know, the influence that DJ Khaled got on in Florida, so that was definitely major. Now I live in Atlanta, and so it's like seeing that was pretty dope.
You talking about your influences, especially when it comes to hip hop. I always say that like we all grew up in hip hop, especially if you're black or if you're Sudanese in America. Like that's the
Facts.
number one culture that you're gonna get. But I always have to ask this question because like my sister also makes music, and I always have to ask her, when are you going to start sampling your people's music and like incorporating some of your culture into your music, or have you already been doing that? Which is just the question I wanted to ask.
No, definitely great question. So I definitely got a couple stuff in the works, collaborating with some people that really have that authentic South Sudanese sound, that South Sudanese flavor. So getting that into the music, I know is definitely important for our people, because that is like carrying the torch
Mhm.
for and passing it forward and pulling from where we come from our roots. So you know, it's definitely going to be dope exploring and putting out music that way. But you know, not even but and you know, growing up in America for the majority of my life from 2 years old, you know, it's kind of like living in that bubble. It's like kind of like all you know, and so it's just like until you kind of take a step back and once you start learning a little bit more about the culture and diving a little bit deeper, then it starts to kind of broaden the perspective. So then you take that into the studio and start cooking something up.
Yeah, with that, I noticed even in the show you spoke in Arnabi Juba, and that really
Man,
had me
he rapped in
geeked.
it.
I was like, whoa, like
I
I've
was
never seen
thoroughly
that or heard
impressed.
that before. So could we like hear that
That's
more in your
dope.
music as well?
But yes, and you know I build it up, but now they saying you ain't African enough, huh? But it's crazy how they cool down, cause the dark skin is cool now. Ooh, they love the smooth sound. Nas kanata kula hadi ana karo boarabi. Yo man, der time they asan tomo de mafi. Feel like Rocky. I'm stepping up cause I'm giving them stares. They looking at me and they isn't impaired. Looking around like what did they say? I'm coming through fully loaded and I'm letting it spray. I'm gone.
Go.
Judges.
I just gotta say it, Būnduke. Like just the simple fact that you came out here, and I love that you rapped in Arabic or what you just did, and that to me sticks out. You know what I'm saying? In terms of just originality, you don't see everybody doing that.
Oh yeah, for sure. So also make sure you go check out my EP I just dropped. It's called Village Boy. On that first track, you know, I spit a whole verse in Arnabi Juba, so make sure y'all go check that out.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
What would
Yeah.
you say that your impact was, or the difference between being on the show and prior to being on the show? Like, have you gotten more listeners, followers?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, the exposure worldwide. You know, I got people from all over that have been following me, sending me messages. There's been so much love. You know, I'm just grateful for the people who are just kind of like getting behind me, supporting. You know, my listeners went crazy. My followers been going crazy. It's like every day I log in, new messages, new followers, new interactions. And, you know, now it's just up to me to keep my foot on the gas and keep the momentum going and, you know, give people what they want, which is the great music.
Do you genuinely believe that like it's not a pressure, it's just a momentum more than anything else? Like, because people would ask you, "Oh, do you feel the pressure of a nation on you, or do you feel like the momentum that the nation is pushing you behind you?"
Yeah, I agree. Like the fact that you are, I think, the first South Sudanese artist to make it to a show and be on that type of huge platform and like be around Eminem and Lotto and Ludacris, like, do you feel the pressure of kind of carrying the country on your back and representing so many millions of people who are seeing someone who looks like them make it to that type of platform?
Nah, that's real. I don't really feel no pressure. It's just more like pride. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, it's not like, oh, I have to. It's like I get to. You know what I'm saying? So it's just
Yeah.
like everywhere I go, I'm automatically recognized as South Sudanese. You know, the height, the skin, all of that.
That
So
big ass flag behind you.
Oh yeah,
You
we
know
know
what I'm
we know you're
saying?
proud.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Not to mention, you did have a viral video on TikTok that I saw where you was joking. So you funny too.
Yo, I hate when Americans ask me where I'm from. They be like, where you from? I'm like, I'm from Florida. Nah, where you from? Jacksonville, Florida. They're like, no, you're not American. Where you from? What? Where you from? Shoot.
Oh yeah, that was a crazy video.
Yeah, I saw that video. I was like, that dude funny too. So hey,
You know what's crazy about that video, right? It's like, man, I was posting rap content every day, and I was like, let me just say what's on my mind today. And I'm just walking around the house, and I was just talking, and that video went crazy to the point where people were posting it on YouTube, Twitter, and like debating and going back and forth on Instagram, like everywhere. And I was just like, that's crazy. Of anything that ends up going crazy, it was me just kind of like making some jokes around people asking you where you from. And so it's just one
Have
of
you
them
had
things.
anybody from back home reach out to you, like to collaborate, or any artists from back home?
Yeah. I was already kind of working with a couple of folks, so working on some collaborations, like some potential collaborations. But now I feel like with the attention that I got, it's a little bit more of importance for people now. So like,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
definitely tapping in with like Dynamic, Yaba and Jealousy, a couple of folks right there. A few people I've been tapped in with. Like there's a boy out of a rapper, Bafo Joseph. That
yeah,
boy
we
raw.
know
He
Shout
him,
out
out
to
of
there.
him.
course.
Shout
He
out
out
to
there
him.
in New York.
Yeah.
That boy fire. So we got some stuff that's cooking up.
Sarah, what
And
about
then-
your cousin?
I love who?
What about your cousin? I would love to see both of them collab one day.
Oh, DZ Brazy?
Yeah.
South
Oh
Sudanese
yeah,
anthem?
DZ. Yeah.
Yes.
I tapped in
South
with DZ
Sudanese
like
DZ
way
Brazy.
before the show too. We were tapped in and just chopping it up, and we've been trying to work on some stuff. So we're definitely gonna have some.
Hey, if you need a vocalist, because I'm gonna plug it into the podcast. I don't give a what nobody says.
Oh,
My
his
sister
Blue
Blue,
Nile,
my sister
she's
Blue
fire,
Nile's a
too.
vocalist, so you better hit up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I thought you were
and
gonna say yourself.
No.
too.
I'm ass at
I was
music.
about to say,
Relax,
don't do that.
relax.
I have a question for you. So you had a rap battle with Yoshi Vintage. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Yoshi Vintage is her name.
Yeah.
And she's amazing. This was this your elimination round?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was around.
Yeah.
Eliminated.
Can't trust a man if I can't shake his right hand. He ugly as fuck, look like he snuck on earth. Look like a stressed out turd. His mama told me when he seen him, she regretted his birth. Flint, why do they know that I'm deaf? Know that baggy jeans, my dick so big, he can't relate to that. Dwayne Johnson, don't get your shit rocked up. Wrong show, stop filming, this ain't Feed the Children. Luda said he barely made it through, since day one I was top two. Smack him so hard to make his wrist pop. Can't get jiggy with this shit, you ain't hip hop. This rhythm and flow, nigga, not TikTok. Kentucky, Tennessee, you look up to me. 7 feet, that K, chop your ass down like a tree. His eyes is yellow, skin and bones is giving deceased. His mama sucked a lot of dick to pay his green card fee.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. I love the disrespect. I love the disrespect. Come on, Būnduke. More beats, let's get to it.
I don't disrespect black women, but it's about to get vicious. This shit hit different. She work with Absol and TDE, but she looking like she eating all EBT. Come on, you said you from the D, I don't buy it. You out here, you came Detroit lying. Come on, okay, you not? Okay, let's get it in. I'm about to do you dirty water from Flint, Michigan. Yeah, it's getting crazy, I got one. Y'all already know you can't stop one. And if you step up, it's a bad one. You cocky, I wouldn't be surprised if she had one. Stepping up to me, I ain't playing. I pull up on you crazy, you know I'm AKing. The red off your top, you look like Raggedy Ann. You trying to spin, I still got the upper hand.
And there was a little bit of controversy behind that rap battle because she, how do I say it? So you got, I mean, it's a rap battle, so you going for the juggler, right? And I think both of y'all, you know, did your thing. But I think that you kind of like, you had some reservations, it seemed like, because I think she's a woman. She's a Black woman, and it felt like you just didn't want to go. Like you didn't.
You took it easy on her, basically, is what you're saying.
I
took it easy on her.
Yeah.
Call a spade a spade. Did you go all out, or did you give it like 80%?
So I'm gonna say like this. You know, it's for me. It's more of like a matter of what I personally believe in. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about the competition. It ain't about no money that's on the line. I don't care who's in front of me. You know what I'm saying? It's just about me and what I believe in, my personal principles and morals. And so like there's just an extent that I didn't want to go to, because I'm just like, man, you already see online like all the mass amount of negative things that can be said and are being said about Black women. And I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? My girl is a Black woman, you know, my mom, my sisters, you know, all of that. And it just didn't sit right with my soul, especially how when you think about the entertainment industry as a whole, it's like you got to sell part of your soul for the money.
Yeah.
To an extent, you know. And then it's just like, to me, it was just like, yeah, here's dangling $250,000 in front of me, but you got to make sure you degrade this Black woman in order to get to that next level. And, you know, so like, there's just certain things that I was just like, yo, I'm not trying to really say, you know. So like when I went in there and, you know, heard a few of the things that she said, she went first. So I'm like, all right, I'm really great at freestyling, so I can freestyle some rebuttals. And, you know, in my head, I'm like, yo, Eminem be freestyling. So I'm like, okay, he gonna really rock with this. And this can kind of give me a different type of edge. And so, I mean, but ultimately, you know, it didn't.
That being said, you didn't really go too hard, but I think what the judges kind of grappled on was the Flint, Michigan.
Can I say this
comment too? Yeah, go ahead.
With the Flint, Michigan, I feel like he's doing a lot of corporate talk. He did go to University of Florida, which is like the Harvard of Florida. It's a high university that I went to.
University of Florida is a Harvard of Florida.
Yeah, it's the Harvard of Florida. It's a high university.
Okay.
It's a better university that I went to with economic degree. So he's trying to white splain the situation. You can speak Arabic if you want to talk shit about her.
No, that's the point.
You ain't gotta. Okay,
wait. Before we do,
because no, my question, because I had a question.
No, I do want to finish because I do think, in a way, it is hard for a man to battle a woman because no matter what he says, how hard it is, it's not gonna come out right.
He's gonna be seen
versus a woman, whether it's a Black woman, white woman, Asian woman, it's gonna come out as an asshole.
Wait,
he's not gonna win that argument. But
do you agree with that, Calvin?
Are we pretending like battle rap culture is not a thing?
Right.
You still
no, battle rap is definitely a thing. That's why it's like, you know,
it's men versus men or women.
Whatever.
No, it's women versus men also. Like, are we pretending like this new era of battle rap is not doing that?
No.
Have you seen it, though?
I've seen the worst of the worst.
My thing is, if you're trying to win, no matter man or woman.
Yeah,
it's I've seen seasons of Rhythm and Flow where there was women battling men and vice versa, and the men did not show no mercy at all. So it was just interesting to see that. I felt like you were being, that might be your South Sudanese culture, like you're very kind. You know, you didn't go too hard on her.
That's not South Sudanese culture.
No, but do say about the Flint, Michigan, the freestyle.
So I think that was interesting because rap battle was very like she had some attacks on like you being African, looking like you snuck on the earth, feed the children, you know, and it's a rap battle, so all is fair in war, right? But when you mentioned Flint, Michigan, Eminem specifically was like, "Ooh, I kind of felt uncomfortable with that." Granted, he is from Detroit. So that's part of that too. But it was just interesting to see like the different how people viewed it differently. As far as like you saying something about Flint, Michigan, it was like a soft dig, and her doing hard digs on you looking African, you being feed the children, you looking like you being Black. About it, like, you know,
this is America. Like this is America. We already know the type of energy and hate that comes towards you being African. You already kind of know that growing up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm not surprised by none of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like to me, it's just like it is what it is. But what I did respect was the fact that after the battle, Lotto took that moment to stop everybody and be like, "Yo, this man said he wasn't going to disrespect. He came out here talking about he wasn't going to disrespect black women. Y'all need to give a hand clap for that." You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, sometimes you just gotta stand on business, and that's more important than anything in the futures. Because like for me, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get mines regardless. This is just one stepping stone. You know, it's not a make or break. Did
you feel like there was like a double standard in how that it's viewed? Because to me,
definitely,
because things that are anti-African are anti-black. They're synonymous to me. It's like sometimes we look at it differently. Like, oh, well, she said things that were like xenophobic and maybe anti-African, but it's different than it being anti-black. They're both the same thing. They're like the same.
Yeah, you know what I'm
It's
saying?
the same
Like,
double standard though of like how women call men gay, just loosely. But we can't really do that.
I mean, damn, that's a crazy thing. But I'm gonna point out that maybe the Flint, Michigan thing was more of an infrastructure comment. It's not really going straight at black people. So that's why the conversation is even a little bit more complex, where it's going at the American system and how it's fucking up black people.
But yeah, I think Flint is a majority black.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Black people are more disproportionately.
Detroit.
And what countries should be
But
supporting
she's
his
from
black
Flint,
citizens?
Michigan. That's the reason why he didn't say that against Flint, Michigan.
Right.
He said
I don't think anything was wrong.
dirty
like-
water
it
like
like
Flint, Michigan.
I said,
'cause
I'm gonna
she's
do
from-
you dirty. I'm not.
I'm gonna do
talking
you
about,
like the
do you
water.
dirty.
in Flint.
Taking it.
She's from
See,
Flint, Michigan.
Hey, time out. I was pointing out that
Hold on.
Bro, we
Go
done,
ahead,
we done
Felicia.
donated money for water for Flint, Michigan. Like you know what I'm saying?
Go ahead, Felicia.
Personally, like as I watched Rhythm and Flow, I had no clue that's what we was gonna talk about. I literally just watched it, but I didn't take that he took that offensively. I think he took it like, "Ooh, that was a good dig."
Yeah, he did.
I don't think that he took it offensively. I think he noticed at that line that you were freestyling.
Mm-hmm.
I think he noticed like, "Oh wait, he didn't write that. He's coming. This is his rebuttal to what she said."
top.
Well, he said, Eminem said, he was like, when he was critiquing the freestyles, he was like, it was good, did a good job, but I don't know how I feel about the Flint, Michigan line. But I mean, he said it fairly.
He said, I don't know how to feel, because if you know anything about
it's
Eminem,
true, though.
he's Detroit to the day that he dies, and
Right.
he's Michigan to the day that he
So
dies.
I understand his like being like, ooh, I don't
No,
know
but
about that.
I'm on her side, because
Yeah, I
I
don't
watched the
think-
episode from Eminem's perspective. Eminem was the one. Eminem was actually on Bunduke's side, based off you coming off the dome and freestyling. But when Eminem critique was like, this is an end all be all. You ending right here. Everything has to be written. Everything has to be tightened up.
Right.
So Eminem was like, if you're coming in here and doing a freestyle, yes, it might hit to me, and that's what Eminem said. He's like, to me, because as a lyricist, I took it upon me, and I was like, yo, that came off the dome and that actually hit. But to everybody around you, they might not take it as a hit right then and there, because it's not.
Especially if somebody else had written their freestyle.
Yeah,
Right.
somebody's written it versus you freestyling it.
It's tough to battle a written with a freestyle.
Yeah,
of course,
right,
you know
for
what
sure.
I'm saying? So it's like it's just one of those situations where it's like, even as you're rapping, you're thinking, so that takes away a little bit from the flow sometimes. A little bit, although I was still flowing, you know what I'm saying?
was.
Like,
Can I give some pushback? I can't give any leniency as a brother, as a fan of battle rap. Written, no matter if it's written, no matter if it's anything else in between, they're both still considered freestyles at the end of the day. Because
but it's not considered off the top.
yeah, they're both not considered off the top, and you're exactly right. So what you're saying, exactly right. Just preface by saying that. That's it. That's all I was.
Manual, some of us are a little bit older, and when you say freestyle, it's off the top. If you wrote that down,
no,
you're not
But it
a
wasn't a
freestyle
freestyle. It was a
rapper.
rap battle. It wasn't a freestyle.
It wasn't a freestyle.
And that's what Lotto said. Lotto was like, if this was a freestyle battle, hell yeah, you would have took it. You know what I'm saying? So, but then she's like, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I was like, all right.
Lotto
it's
was
cool,
hating
you know
though.
what I'm saying?
I ain't
No,
gonna
she wasn't.
Lotto was.
I'm not tripping.
Lotto was on the side of the women.
Lotto was very likable in this.
Yeah.
You notice how the girls are saying that she likable?
Nah, I ain't
for the
go- I
girls
ain't go
this
cap, like,
She was
Lotto
for
was
the- she
definitely
was for the girl.
showing love, but it's just it kind of comes
If
down to
Ludacris
that.
was there, I think Lou Ludacris would have.
Yeah, I was going based off of like the comments and like the feedback that was gotten.
Don't
like,
worry about the comment.
No, I'm just saying like.
You ask her who does she think won the battle?
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
Yeah, take your shoe off. Have it ready to be thrown.
I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, it's like the battle's already over.
It is over. I personally, because I'm like a rap head, as he said, I'm from Griselda, New York. And those are my actual friends. So I am immersed in rap. Yeah. So personally, because you were able to jump into the freestyle without it being so noticed until you started saying things as a rebuttal, to me, I think you won. I think she was a little bit too animated. She was really just trying to like get under your skin, which to me, it seems like those are the things she's naturally going to say. I don't think she said anything that made me go, oh, yeah, that was hard. It's kind of like, I kind of figured she was going to go there with that. So it wasn't anything that I was like shocked by. So personally, I would have picked you as the winner because to me, even once she like started going further into the competition, I was like, she should have went away at the battle.
Yeah,
But,
the next episode.
like the next episode, I was like, she should have just left at the battle.
I didn't watch the full season. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't.
So I do have a question though. How do you feel about who won? Do you think is that who you thought was gonna win?
I mean, I already knew who won since like since the beginning of
No
the year.
political answer. If you
Please,
wanna,
no
if you wanna-
political
If you want to talk about it in Arabic, say it in Arabic. If you want to talk your mind, they're not gonna hear you.
Ain't no political answers because like with all those dudes, I rock with it, and then it made me realize what type of competition it was, and it made me even realize like that what they're looking for. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're looking for somebody that's boom, gone, ready to go. They're looking for somebody that can take feedback and develop and add whatever they're saying and carry it on throughout the episode.
Political.
So that's what I peeped is really about the show. You know what I'm saying? You got like Dre TL, you got J Taj, both fire artists, and you got like a 10-year age gap between the two. So it's like if you thinking from a perspective of like, oh, somebody that you want to mold, grow, and develop, then that kind of comes to a decision. And then like it's just like, it's just like the moments, and I feel like it's the same for damn near any artist. It's like you gotta have your moments, you gotta have that perspective of like, yo, growing from here to there, and that's what people gravitate to. It's like, dang, I knew him since he was whoop whoop whoop, and now he's so it's just like it's one of those types of feelings I feel like when it comes to rap. But you know what I'm saying, it's like at the end of the day, like them boys went to the top, them boys went to the last two, both of them like you gonna win regardless. Like I
believe Simone homie should have won.
With the type of
Respectfully,
deals that I got on the table, I know they got some crazy deals on the table. So
Wait, you got deals on the table?
Wait, hold on. Let me borrow some money.
Not doing his business.
Hold on.
But the people will offer you deals, but you have to give up.
Yeah. You got to give up a lot.
You got a certain percentage, certain creative control, certain stuff like that. So it's something that you just kind of gotta weigh your options and figure out what you about to.
I feel like, hey, can I ask you? I'm gonna say something. This is good. Just let me get my comedy bag off. I feel like if they signed you, they're gonna turn you into an Afrobeat artist with a heartbeat. Like within 5 seconds.
While we're still on the hip hop
They're
topic,
gonna be like, we are going to turn him Afrobeats. Yes.
I think this is a great segue. I don't know if you've seen it, but with the recent controversial comments that Fat Joe made about
I didn't see it.
You didn't see it? Well, I think it's important because we have obviously Calvin and Jasmine here and Felicia about there's been this discourse on X about basically who was a part of starting hip hop or the contributions that have been made to hip hop and rap. So
let's start by this. These rumors were made by radical black racists. Let's just say that. Okay? It's a group of these guys that don't want to hear Jamaican, don't want to hear Guyanese, they don't want to hear a black guy that ain't down with them.
Right.
Right? So their job is to criticize anybody who don't look like them or who ain't black American.
Who are these guys?
You want me to say it name? We're going to give them too much clout.
I mean...
The FBA, Foundational Black Authority, whoever the these broke niggas is. I'm just keeping it a buck. And their shit is to attack everybody on Twitter. You see this nigga who run them? Like, you know, your leader? Yo, man, you got to be kidding me, man. And so they trying to change the narrative. They're not from New York.
Right.
Well, y'all want to, just the context of it, from the clip that I saw, he explicitly disrespected like FBA. I guess he doesn't like FBA's Foundational Black Americans. He's like, they're divisive. They're like radical black racists. Those are the exact words that he used. And then but it was also in the context of like
hip-hop. He didn't say FBA though. He said Tariq Nasheed.
Right.
He did say it. He said
FBA. No, he didn't say
said
the whole FBA. He said he did say names.
No, he said FBA.
A lot of people feel like it wasn't Fat Joe's place to even speak on that, and also the whole who contributed to like hip hop and rap, whether it be Caribbean immigrants or there's that whole like who had a hand in contribution.
Puerto Ricans, do you feel like they played a part in creating hip hop?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Were they early? Were they the first contributors? Yes. Did they do things to help proliferate hip hop? Yes. Were they, do we have valuable people from the Puerto Rican culture that has contributed? Absolutely. But in the beginning stages of hip hop, in the creation stages of hip hop, this was very much a Black American youth thing that had no outside influences from Puerto Rico or Jamaica or any other type of place that you may name. The influences, if anything, were from down south America. The influences were our parents' music. Like, it had nothing to do with any outside people, and any individuals that might have been from those places did not bring that culture to hip hop. They had to act Black in order to assimilate to hip hop culture. That's all that's being said. There's no hatred or no racism, whatever they're trying to call foul on. It's just saying, listen, the thing that you love and adore is something that was made by Black American youth. Get over it. It's not the melting pot y'all are trying to paint it as. Now, I don't know if there's some sort of financial reasons, being we have the Olympics coming up and people want to attack.
That's something that we kind of wanted to dive in deep into. And I wanted to hear from Calvin as well, and Jasmine. I don't know how you identify, Jasmine, if you identify as FBA or just African American. But I think African Americans in general, whether they identified as FBA or not, were kind of offended.
Black or not.
Yeah, they were offended by his commentary. I want you guys to speak to it. You as well, Felicia.
Well, not Felicia, because she's from New York. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you feel like it was Fat Joe's place to really like speak on that since he is not Black?
So I feel like two things could be true, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was it his place to like go that deep? No, but he was asked.
Mm-hmm.
So he answered. He answered truthfully, and I feel like that's what you can expect from Fat Joe.
Exactly. I agree.
To dive deeper into his interview about who started hip hop. So I don't know if everybody in here is old enough that you didn't have internet, because I am. I'm that old where we didn't have internet. So if you're from New York, you only know New York hip hop. And then once you start getting the internet, right, you hear artists from other places saying that, oh, to get hot, I had to go to Hot 97. I had to go to this place. So to me, you had to go to New York to get hot, right?
Right.
And then let's just say, let's even go further. They say like, oh, you want to do music? You go to New York. You want to do acting or modeling? You go to LA. So at some point, it's some type of origin in New York. Now, how many like people could say they were involved in that? That's different. But if we're going back to like Fat Joe's days, you only had the radio.
Mm-hmm.
You only know what you know because you live where you live. Now, who was hot in Atlanta? Hey, they might have been hot in Atlanta, but you didn't know that in New York. So I feel like he's only speaking from his own experience.
Yeah.
I feel like when those type of conversations are had, they should have more than one state talking because
But his issue wasn't the state though. His issue was like people know where hip hop started. Hip hop started in the Bronx with DJs like Kool Herc and Grandmaster Flash. His argument was like hip hop started with the Puerto Ricans and black, and he included Puerto Ricans and black, and a lot of the black people, financial black Americans, was trying to state that why are you including Puerto Ricans in this conversation of hip hop when they shouldn't be included. Now, me personally, I do think yes, they should be included because hip hop in itself does not just encompass rap. Hip hop is big on graffiti. Hip hop is a culture. Hip hop is bebop, DJing, freestyling, what they call it, the dancing, breakdancing, writing, poetry. So hip hop in itself, it's hard to just say like, oh, this one person did hip hop, because you can go all the way back to Muhammad Ali's album when I Am the Greatest album when he did spoken words, when he was just talking.
And what is Muhammad Ali?
Technically rapping, but that's what I'm talking about when people are saying hip hop. Hip hop is not just rap. Rap is a sub culture of hip hop. So when he says that Puerto Ricans were part of it, Dominicans, Africans, Jamaicans, black, etc., it's all part of that. So personally, I'm on Fat Joe's side. The conversation is moot. It doesn't make sense when people are trying to say no, because even if you go back to when people say who really invented hip hop, was like when people go back to DJ Kool Herc, who was a DJ. He's from Jamaica. He was born in Jamaica, and he's the one that started the whole hip hop movement with his partying in the Bronx. He is Jamaican. He was born in Jamaica. Cool Master Flash, all those people, they were black. Yes, you can say 90% of it is black, but even if 1% is Puerto Rican, even if 1% is Latino, even 1% is African.
Wait, no. Let me cook you real quick.
Emmanuel, wait. Let's go to Calvin.
Wait,
what Fat Joe was saying.
1 second. So just to piggyback off of that, I do agree with him, because if you go to the hood in New York, because that's basically where it started at, your neighbor is going to be a Puerto Rican or a black person. So if I'm collaborating or making music and my neighbor comes over, they're Puerto Rican. They're going to have some type of impact on what I'm doing. Or like they could be the producer. You never really know. Mm-hmm. But that's basically like the melting pot of the hood. It's Puerto Ricans and blacks.
Can I ask the most honest question that I could ask? What culture is it based on? Because like, let's go. You take that culture back to Puerto Rico. What are they going to call it?
Jungle music. Jungle bunny music. That's what they call it.
No, they're going to do all that. They're going to call it African American music.
Music.
That's the whole point. It's like Black American music.
Right. Well, I'm saying as far as like, if we say
we're not going to call it Puerto Rican music because it's not Puerto Rican.
We're definitely not going to call it that.
That's the whole point. It's like Fat Joe's whole point is like,
if it's 95% black, I would give 5% to them.
No, we're not, because I'm gonna be real with
Puerto Ricans are the first students.
Let Calvin answer.
They're the first students of hip hop, just like how Eminem is a guest. Puerto Ricans was the first guest in hip hop. Just because you were there and you took a picture of the hip hop party, don't mean you contributed, or all this extra stuff. Hip hop comes from soul, funk music, R&B, jazz, everything that comes from black music. That's same thing like what Beyonce is doing. She's taking back our music, like country music. Because country music has been hijacked by white America, and we're not about to let that happen again with hip hop as well. That was just a economic grab with Fat Joe. The Olympics came last year with this 50th anniversary, so they're trying to say this whole Puerto Rican and black is 50-50 is incorrect. I
definitely didn't give it 50-50.
I'm gonna ask that question. For me, from my point of view, is like from my perspective is like Black American culture, right? Mm-hmm. Meaning that like Southern Black culture is Southern Black culture. Northern East and North American, where like hip hop started was Northeast, right? Was in New York, was where they started out.
It's New York only.
Obviously, but hold on,
Kool Herc and the boy. Go back though.
It's New York.
Yeah, but that's like the more back we go, we can go back to Jamaica where they were doing ripping it.
We can just go all the way back to Africa where drums started.
Right.
Like, this is the reason why we keep going back. You have to go. You have to have a starting point. A starting point, you can say DJ Kool Herc is the one that's, and Grandmaster Flash is the one that's are the pioneers of the DJing and the scratching and the beginning of hip-hop.
You got a guy named Grandmaster Theodore. Then you got a dude named Cornbread out of Philadelphia who started doing graffiti back in 1965 to 68. he brought that up to New York. Breakdancing, you could see that being done on during the Jim Crow era, during the minstrel shows. They was doing type of breakdancing moves. Even down to the church quartets back in the 1940s, the rhythm and the cadence is all come from. But Black America.
This is what I'm trying to say. There has to be a stopgap moment, because as long as you can keep saying we can just go back to this, go back to that, go back to that, then we can just go all the way back to drums in Africa and be like, oh, okay, we got to start.
Okay, can I
be a
this?
stopgap moment. Let me add this is why I mentioned Muhammad Ali when Muhammad Ali came out with this album of I Am the Greatest. I Am the Greatest was spoken rap. He was just speaking.
But what lineage is Muhammad Ali?
That's not the matter.
No, that does matter because he got to get it from somewhere. He didn't go to Jamaica and then
my argument is not
song.
being Muhammad Ali is hip hop. My argument is that when you speaking about rap and hip hop, you can look at so many options that you can pick and choose where that starting moment is coming from. So when people people come with so much and say, "Oh, we did this," it's hard to just say we did this, because then it'll be like a lot of other groups can say like, "Well, we contributed," and this is why I was agreeing with her. Is like we can say there's a lot of groups that contributed to it, because your neighbor can be Puerto Rican. He may have contributed to whatever happened in that grand scheme of things. It may not be 50-50. It's not 50-50. But even if it's 1%, that's a contribution. And that contribution should be highlighted.
Is hip hop black music or not?
It is. Absolutely.
Okay,
it's African American.
That's the point.
100%.
But that's my whole point of view of it. It's like culture is neither I'm gonna use a history line. Whatever that shit's, culture is neither created nor dissolved, right? It only evolves. And like, for as much as we pretend like culture is not coming from stems from a certain place, at the end of the day, African Americans created hip hop. Now hip hop is evolving to a point where like it's becoming so massive that everybody else is gonna get their piece of it. Now you have Korean hip hop. Now you have
Do you know why they doing
imitation of black?
Well, because it's making money now. So it's the biggest genre in music. When hip hop first came out, they were like, look at them black kids on there spinning on them cardboards.
Well, it's not as profitable as it was anymore.
That's what I'm saying. But when it wasn't profitable, it was black music. But now it's global. It's well, you know, the Puerto Ricans and the Jamaicans. No, it's niggas.
Well, yes, I want to ask Calvin, because I've seen this discourse a lot on X, this back and forth about like the creation of hip hop and the whole delineation. Do you feel like that has something to do with it, with feeling like
Yes, I think delineation is gatekeeping. I think you have to delineate to gatekeep your culture. Just like I can't come in Sudan or South Sudan, right? Mm-hmm. I can't come in there and be like, all right, this is what we're going to do. What are you going to look at me? This is American.
Technically, you can with enough. With
enough money, you can create culture right now. You're so young.
Well, I'm just giving us out. That's the problem. We just, with black Americans, we have been too nice and let everybody just come in our culture and just step on our couch pretty much. Like, we got to get some order around here. And it's not to say that other groups are bad. We're just stating what's ours. And then it seemed like once we delineate, now it's a problem. But once we, before that, like somebody, we ain't tripping if somebody say, oh, I'm South Sudanese American, or I'm Nigerian American, or I'm Jamaican American. Okay, bet.
Can I ask this? Can I ask this? Based off of what you were talking about by gatekeeping, one of the biggest stories of 2024 is, as far as with Beyonce's doing her country album, where you say like taking back our culture, is that a lot of people have thought that country music has kind of blackballed her from the Country Music Award and not given her due diligence and her
that's a form of gatekeeping, I think, what they doing.
And when the Country Music Award came about, even what's the other guy, Shubezi?
That's my. I'm gonna be honest with you real quick. Can I take a shot at Beyonce real quick?
They did not give them the grades that they need, both of them, even though they both had an outstanding album and an outstanding song. They did not give them those awards, and they kind of gatekeep them from getting into that area of country music. Do you think there is an issue in that in hip hop as well? Because I do think in hip hop there is a way we kind of gatekeep Eminem, even though he sold a lot of albums. We kind of did not give him a lot of ways. We didn't give him a lot of the awards.
What are we supposed to give?
What do you mean? They gave him he got so many Grammys.
He got all the records,
right?
But the Grammys is not hip hop.
First of all,
we're talking about the Source. We're talking about
like the Source Award.
When's the last time you heard a Source Award?
That was not the question. Yeah, you
That's
know,
not
I'm
the question, but, like,
I'm
what
talking about.
awards,
I'm
like-
talking about the country music with Beyonce. Don't skip the whole.
But okay, the
Eminem
reason
thing.
the reason
Yeah,
why
yeah,
because
on the Eminem stuff.
The people in country music they're gonna gatekeep it and keep it white pretty much. But hip hop, we don't care if you was snack or two with one eye. If you can rap, we gonna embrace you. And I think that's our problem. It don't matter, like especially with Eminem. Like, I'm not saying he's not a good lyricist or anything, but who literally ride around bumping Eminem in their car? No.
I mean,
but
I actually enjoyed Eminem.
not that much. But what I'm saying is,
wait, here's the thing. I like Dolce, and Dolce is like still the same. And Kendrick,
Yo,
I love
but
Kendrick.
I understand what he's trying to say. Like, I mean, I feel like Eminem, he's talented, obviously,
super talented.
but he's palatable to like different audiences.
No,
because
he's not.
white.
He's just
Yes,
white.
he is.
That's it.
No,
That's
exactly.
It.
So-
If his music was made by a black man, it would never be palatable.
This was not about
That's
Eminem.
the point
This
that
is
we're
about
making.
Beyonce.
But his point was like, oh,
Block
Eminem,
away.
we deny him
That
shit.
was not
It's
the
'cause
point.
he's above
to be
average.
honest, I think Paul Wall better than Eminem.
We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. And I love Paul Wall as a Texas brother that's born and raised and loved. Not born.
Okay.
Paul Wall. I love Paul Wall, and I'm not even born and raised. I know I'm too Texas. Like,
I thought you was talking about Pitbull.
like, it's like when we grow up in this culture so much, right? To the point where, like, I'm not gonna lie, it's like damn near propaganda how much we listen to Texas music here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's my point of view. Is like when you grow up in the culture so much that you love it, and that's a part of you, and that's every bit of you. As much as I'm more Texan than I probably am South Sudanese and North Sudanese because this is where I was at. Like I don't even sound like my people.
No, I feel you.
I can't
I'm
speak
more-
my language like I'm supposed to speak.
I'm more
my
Texan than I am American.
Exactly. And that's my point. It's like even regionalism when it comes to like music, we're from the South. Hey, the
Correct.
South got something to say. Hip hop started Northeast, but they didn't tell the South, hey, you can't speak.
But where you think the Northeast got their flavor from?
Yeah.
During the Great Migration.
Oh yeah, you got that
Jazz
right.
came from where?
Exactly.
And then
Now the
all
Northeast
the
ain't got no more.
South.
They ain't got no more flavor. You peeped that.
That's
all,
why
all the music coming in from the East and
That's
the
why
South.
the South took over. That's why the South had hip hop for like good 20 years.
I'm gonna be honest with you. You look at the rest of them, they ain't got no flavor. How many East Asian?
What the fuck you pointing at me for?
I'm looking at East Asian. How many of these people that are copying hip hop have flavor?
Can
Or
we
even
talk-
make sense when they're
Can
rapping?
we ask somebody from New York if y'all ain't got no flavor?
Do we have flavor?
I wasn't
That's
saying
what-
that they don't
that's
have no
what-
flavor.
that's what
I
they
was
said.
talking about
They
the
say y'all
Asian
New
people
Yorkers ain't got
and
no
the people
flavor.
outside of the United
That
States
is-
who
But
are
also-
copying
Can't
hip
be
hop.
true.
Thank you.
The ones
That can't be
outside
what
of
they say.
America copying hip hop are
The
also
ones
im-
out-
they're imitating
It's people
American
inside copying-
culture.
copying it too.
Yeah, but they're
no, the
Caucasian.
people outside
No.
are copying
Can I ask
hip hop
you,
and stuff.
Calvin? And since
Man.
obviously we have a rapper here. What is a way to where people can join in on the culture and still be respectful? Because I know you said that.
Just do your due diligence and know your history and respect it. Don't come in just being disrespectful with it. Know the forefathers and know who opened the doors for you to come in, and just respect the history and the people that laid the foundation for you.
That's fair.
That's real.
So
And
Drake,
Hip hop is literally the best thing in the world, right? Like it's literally the best thing in the world. From the fashion to the music to the slang to the body language to just the rhythm, you know what I'm saying? And it's infectious. Like you cannot resist hip hop. I don't care how bad they try to paint it. Like it's just so good. That's why everybody want to do it. That's why everybody want to be a part of it. But then I also understand like that respect to where the culture actually comes from is so many people that just come in and abuse it and don't even like put respect on it. You know what I'm saying? They be like, even when they bring up when they have conversations around somebody like a Post Malone type junk where
Oh,
you
I'm
got
glad you
somebody that came in the
He
hip
from
hop and
Texas.
then it's like, you know, and he kind of just he from Texas.
Hold
Yeah.
on. Can I add on to what
he,
you're
he
saying?
from Dallas. Yeah.
Okay, like you said, Post Malone, Machine Gun Kelly. What's the other dude from Oakland? He had the hit with Cardi
Jack
B.
Harlow.
But all of them, they come in, they play nigga, then they go and switch over to drinking Bud Light. They use our culture, and then they go on to be a country singer.
How about Buddy
Oh.
that sang the
Oh.
viral song $1 Million Baby?
Yeah, he gonna
was-
switch too.
He was controversial.
Oh,
when
he already did. He said
he started off. He said,
he's
"I'm
a
not with
hip-hop
rap.
artist."
I'm not a rapper. I'm not
Yeah.
A, B, and C." Where all the other genres of music never nominated him for a Grammy, so he finally got nominated as a hip hop artist, and he tried to claim that he was a hip hop artist after denying hip hop and rapping for the longest time.
Because hip hop is black. You associating with them blacks.
I mean, let's not pretend like there's
he
not a
said he didn't want to be a part of it.
No, that's why I'm agreeing with you. I'm
Not.
saying, I'm telling you why he probably didn't want to be a part, because he didn't want to be associated with that.
Everybody was playing White Iverson. I feel like, and just to,
because I want to know why he switched up. Like
Kid Rock,
you know?
Kid Rock is
it's called crossover.
Well,
it's more money.
It's Kid Rock. Like, let's be honest with
He
you.
started off rapping.
Yeah, it's the Kid Rock formula. They've been doing it for years,
Yeah,
like
he
for
ride
a
around
long
with a
time.
Confederate flag
They started off
on the
that, and
boat.
all of a sudden now he's a Trump supporting, no more Negro ass white boy.
So it's like to get to a bigger audience.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Well, you use the culture, and then you have the opportunity to cross over because you're white, and that's the majority of the population. Like Eminem, the reason why he broke all those records, he has a white audience.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, let's be honest.
With that
The biggest audience in hip hop is white.
That's what I'm saying. So
exactly.
So you have that advantage.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna take it from Eminem and say the fact that he resonates so much because ain't no black folks talking about "I hate you, mom"
and killing your mama and smack like.
Okay, but let's be honest with ourselves. At least Eminem is the only one that thoroughly stayed.
Why
in
are we
the
attacking
culture.
Eminem?
Listen, I love.
Stayed in the culture.
It's the truth. I love Eminem, but I can never sit back like he said. I bump Eminem music when I ride around, but I don't sit back like I relate to his life.
We
all
probably
day.
shouldn't do it on his podcast because like he literally might have a connection to
Yeah,
might
exactly.
actually
Out of
watch it.
respect for the show.
Yeah.
So,
But Duke, I know. I feel like I interrupted you, but go ahead because you had something to say in regards to like the crossover between like hip hop and then maybe it's like
Eminem
more
has been for
pop,
the culture.
mainstream.
for
whatever.
example, a South Sudanese rapper,
Yes.
like just being able to respect the history of the art form. Obviously, you love it, like everything that you said about hip hop, how it's infectious and everyone loves it, but still being able to kind of honor the greats and the people that started it.
Yeah, that's definitely critical. But now what I was about to say was just based off what he was saying earlier, it's like country music is still black music, so it's crazy how they cross over from black music to black music. But you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a paradox, you know, but they it's the audience targeting, you know, what they're really looking for. So it's just that was just a thought. But like even so this is a back to Rhythm and Flow real quick. So they didn't air this. So if you watch the whole season, at the beginning, everybody does their audition in front of the judges, but you never see my audition. So what happened was, right? So I did my jumped on stage, rap, killed it, crowd was rocking with it, all that. So then DJ Khaled was like, "Yo, I like you. You from Florida, man. I rock with Florida. That's not far from Miami. I'm rocking with it. Let's see what everybody else got to say." Lotto was like, "Oh, that was a great performance. I loved your vibe. You're very polished. You almost seem too polished, but I like your swag and your energy. Cool." And then Ludacris was like, "Yo, that was dope." And I feel like they kind of set this up on purpose behind the scenes. But like Ludacris was like, "Yeah, you dope, but like you left me wanting more." You know what I'm saying? Like in my head, I'm like, that's a good thing, ain't it? You know, they kind of like was painting a compliment like it was almost like wasn't a good thing. And then Busta Rhymes. So Busta Rhymes was like, he was like, "Yo, that was dope, great performance and everything." You know what I'm saying? But I agree with Ludacris. You left me wanting more. And then he looks down at the paper. He was like, "Say you from South Sudan, but you sound like a Jacksonville native." You know what I'm saying? So like he's like saying that. He's like, "Yo, you know, where's that South Sudan flavor at?" You know, and so
Not
it's
you
like
trying to sound like him.
I know.
yeah, no, that's how he came. That's how he came across. You know what I'm saying? So it was like for him to even like bring that up. You know, very similar to.
And isn't he from Jamaica or something?
Yeah. He from Jamaica, but like he don't.
His parents is
right. He wasn't
right, exactly. But you know what? If I ask you what Jamaican reggae song Busta Rhymes got, nobody got an answer for that.
He did one with Nicki Minaj actually.
But
do
a
you
Jamaican reggae artist?
No, both of them did it, but they did a Jamaican hip hop song. I'm sorry, I be
Cultural
knowing hip hop
appropriation
facts.
at
I
this
love Busta.
point.
Busta one of my
That's
favorite
great.
artists of all time.
No,
but you definitely
down
right.
to the music videos and everything.
But do you think?
Right.
But do you think that kind of attributed to you on your line when you was doing the
cipher.
breakdown, the cipher, when you say now they're saying I'm not black, I'm not African enough?
Yeah, that was literally so they cut so much out. So
there was context
because
missing.
Ludacris and Busta said that. So originally I was like so like even during that cipher, man, we damn near had a day to memorize it. So like I'm barely halfway, have my verse memorized. So I was gonna say now Busta and Luda trying to say that I ain't African
You
enough.
shoulda.
Like, I was literally gonna say that, but like I was a little discombobulated. I ain't gonna cap. But anyways, I say all that to say they cut a major part because Ludacris was like, yo, bro, I love when people prove me wrong. Like I had said this and you responded to it in your raps and everything like that. But they did include some of what he said and his compliments to me rapping in Arabic and Arabi Juba. And so it was still, you know, cool at the end of the day. But like that was like the main reason why I said that line. I feel like there's so much context out of that. And then even if you go watch it back, you'll see Lotto's like, oh, Bunduke, who said you ain't African enough? And she like elbowing Ludacris on the side, and Ludacris legs like shaking it. Like you gonna see it when you watch it back. You're gonna be like, wow. Now, but I say all that to say it's like now the way I feel like hip hop is headed, like it's like your X factor or like how you're standing out with whatever type of background or whatever you can add to it because a lot has already been done in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? You look at all of the rappers from the foundation of rap music all the way to now. It's like there's so many different styles. It's like what are you gonna be able to even like bring into the game to stand out in a certain light? So you know, it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like, you know, we get it, but
brother, can I end it off by saying a compliment to you is like you're not gonna have to worry because you're one of one, and you're the first one to be able to do what you can do for our culture. So like you can bring aspects of our culture and you can introduce it and spice it up with hip hop a little bit. Cause they ain't never heard no Arnabi Jew, but they ain't never heard no more of our culture. They ain't even heard of any of our beef. So like, there's
any of our beef.
So they don't know as much as you know.
Who we beefing with?
Rap about tribalism.
Yes.
No, don't rap about tribalism.
But not even none of that. It's like
go listen to the first track on my EP. And I promise y'all go take away good about from it.
And also, you funny, so I can't wait to hear some of your funny aspects. Especially, I know you spit funny. And I know you can put in a little bit of your comedic presence. Because I'm going to put it like this. As a comedian, 10 out of 10, that video, I was like, this nigga, that dude. I said, yo, he got something there.
Speaking of which, where can we find you or where can we support you? What's your TikTok handle?
So you can find me everywhere online. It's Bunduke, Bunduke. Hop on my website, bunduke.com. I'm on TikTok, Instagram. Make sure you follow, support, and then go stream Village Boy EP. Make sure you get that. It's my new project that's out right now on all platforms. And actually go buy it on my website. Support the artist directly. You know what I'm saying? Right. Buy it on my website, bunduke.com.
Awesome. Well, is there anything else you want to promote or anything that you have coming out besides your project that you want to let the people know about?
If y'all in Atlanta, I'm doing a listening session, listening party in Atlanta, January 24th. It's a Friday. We're gonna have some good vibes, food, drinks, great music, great conversation for the people. So tap in with me, pop out. We're gonna be doing this, traveling to other cities as well. So
yeah,
let's get it.
Well, we appreciate you. I feel like thank you all of you guys for adding nuance to the conversation. I feel like we had. Because hip hop was created by African Americans, I do believe that we should respect like the foundation of where it was created. But there's so many contributions that is now happening. Like you said, I mean, Bunduke, you're South Sudanese, and you're contributing to like the culture, and like South Sudanese people are listening to you back home even. And you're from New York, Felicia, so you're adding that nuanced perspective because I think that everybody's experience being Black is different regionally. For sure. So it's definitely important to kind of highlight those aspects as well. And you being from the South, you both being from the South, you're adding that perspective. So I feel like we had a really good nuanced conversation. I hope we can expound on it because I feel like this conversation could just go on for hours.
And the main takeaway, just being what Captain was saying, just putting that respect on it.
Yes. And I agree with that. I feel like that's the main thing. I feel like once we because the conversation just goes so many different ways, and people are like, no, but we contributed to it. But it's like, but we started it. But it was like, we're not talking about who contributed. We're talking about who started and who the respect. So I feel like once we have respect first,
we
then
can all partake.
Yes. And that's just my opinion. And we want to hear y'all's opinions in the comments as well. Did I miss anything? Does anybody want to add on?
Yeah. Any final thoughts?
Final thoughts? Anyone?
I would say delineation is not hating another group. It's just establishing your culture. That's what I would say. I'm not a hater at all. I can care less what you're doing, but also, like in America, I say racism is a team sport. So you can't be looking at to have allies or whatnot. Everybody's doing for self as a group, and I think my people, we need to get on that and start doing for self and giving out black privilege.
I'm gonna ask a question. But you still working with South Sudanese? But you still working with South Sudanese, brother?
Yeah. No, no problem.
But we didn't hear from.
Madam, we ain't get that
for me because I'm pretty good about if you're not too knowledgeable on the conversation. I think we as America need to learn to shut the hell up when to shut the hell up. So I can sit here in complete silence, soak it all up, and be like, okay, this is a solid, interesting conversation. But what I will say is that I know y'all brought up like a whole bunch of white artists, XYZ, and I will say I think the reason why a lot of people don't last in hip-hop who are not black is because hip-hop is one of those genres where you can't fake the funk too long. So you have to have your identity and you have to be rooted in that. Hence why I'm not a black boy, but hence why a white boy who grew up in, where Jack Harlow from, like Kentucky or some shit like that? Hence, close enough, sure. Yeah, Louisville, hence why a white boy, you really can't come in and really talk that talk, walk that walk, because you don't have that experience. Right. And that's the main thing I really took away from Fat Joe in particular was we as black people, me and Calvin in particular, we're very serious about, I don't give a damn how you were raised, but we need to do better about not allowing everybody to think that they have a take on what the black experience is. Especially, once again, you can be raised with XYZ, purple, yellow, green, but until you have to walk that walk, you just got to learn to shut the hell up.
I'll take that.
Thanks, I'm not mad at that.
Hey,
thank
you. That's all we can add.
Yeah, we can add it because we got to wrap
There go
the
y'all
show.
Black American female comment right there.
Yeah,
there you go. For all the neighbors that have been asking.
You hear the Texas in her.
Black American. Yeah.
Okay,
Real South Dallas. You're absolutely right.
Here's some brisket.
Real South, no, baby, South Dallas. Not no brisket.
Coming soon.
Oh, no brisket.
Me and Jasmine are starting our own podcast called the Black Ice Podcast.
Oh,
yeah. Y'all look out for that.
Yeah,
Yes.
where it's real niggery over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
we'll-
It don't get no more niggery than what I gotta give.
You better get my black ass as a guest. You know what I'm saying?
We'll think about it. We'll think about it.
So can you say the name of the podcast one more time clearly, and then what is it going to be about?
Okay, the Black Ice Podcast. The reason why it's called Black Ice, three elements of it.
Give it to him, Cal.
First, every Black American know what you have in your car as your air freshener is black ice.
Yeah.
Right? The black ice little tree. That's just culturally, that's what we do. Secondly, when it storms and you don't see black ice, it's unexpected. So we're gonna be unexpectedly coming at you. And then thirdly, black is cool.
Facts.
Okay. And while you at it, put a little Miles Davis track behind it.
Okay.
That was good. That was real good.
Oh no, y'all gonna be the iciest combination to put in the game.
Thank you. We appreciat that.
I can't wait to watch
Looking forward to it.
And I'm definitely gonna support y'all forever.
Yeah. And we support you. What's your name?
Crazy. Ain't it like that? That's perfect.
I'm joining the conversation. I don't want to leave
Y'all
our
sure
guests
y'all want her to
hanging.
speak at some time?
Jasmine, you just took me out.
I don't even know. I think she was serious.
Thank you so much, Bunduke, for joining. We are looking forward to everything else that you have coming out. We support you. We're proud of you. We're so thankful that you took time out of your Saturday to join us. So thank you. And Sarah, close out.
Yes, and we appreciate you, all of your contributions to this conversation. Looking forward to the Black Ice podcast. I feel like so here's the thing. So ladies of Sosa, we stand on Pan-Africanism. And so I feel like we kind of have clashing ideologies as far as like delineation, but that doesn't mean that we can't still like show love to each other, like see each other as like
oh no
brothers and
problem.
sisters.
Yeah, we just need to clean our house first before we come in y'all backyard and party.
Right. No, because I feel like the comment section would be like so
remember
mad.
the podcast that me and Deontay had?
Yeah.
He said, look, As long as you black, we pro you.
Exactly.
Let's just end it like that.
Exactly. And there's a lot of ideologies, but as long as we look at each other as brother and sisters, I feel like we can always.
Yes. I think we got to see each other the way cops see us. Nigga, if you black, you black.
It don't matter what shade you
That's
black.
it.
There you go.
Thank you guys so much for
Well.
watching. Please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and also check out everything that Bunduke has going on. If you haven't seen the show yet, please support him. And we'll catch you guys in the next episode.
Hey, man, next time, give it to her. Don't hold back, man. Disrespect her, and then just apologize afterwards. Because you're going to get the backlash regardless.
That's what he
Exactly.
Sorry, I had to get that out.
I'm just surprised Sarah got done coughing. She said more coughs than she said words.
Oh my